What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the FloGrappling show here in the Pink Pony Club, baby. I just learned about Chaperone a week ago, and so we had to deck this bad boy out in the pink and magenta, you know, let them know that we're in the Pink Pony Club. Springfield, Missouri girl, I learned. So a little Midwest princess.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. So I'm your host, as always, Trey Robinson. We got Pink Pony Club president Reed Connell right there. We got Joey Gilps on the side desk, and then right here,
mascot, the Pink Pony mascot.
That's right. We got the Pink Pony mascot, Andrew Tackett. Maybe the most exciting, if not one of the most exciting grapplers in the world right now, Andrew Tackett. Everybody give it up for Andrew.
Andrew Tackett, baby. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for joining us, bro. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
Are you familiar with the Pink Pony Club? Do you know what he's... Okay.
You know who Chaperone is? You're not exactly in the target demographic. It's okay to say no. You are not familiar with Chaperone.
No idea. No.
Yeah, no.
I know
me neither, bro.
I know jiu-jitsu, and that's about it.
Okay. Dude,
Andrew, that's why we love you.
Bro, they've been wanting us to post more quote graphics on our Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna post a quote graphic of you saying, "I know jiu-jitsu," and that's about it.
That's about it.
And just you just smiling with a thumbs up. Yeah, bro. Well, thanks for joining us. You know, it's obviously great to have you in here. You know, one of Austin's very own. You know,
Yeah, been out here in Austin for a long time.
What has it been like seeing kind of the Austin scene change over the years? Because
Pretty
you've been
dope.
grappling forever, probably. You probably were born grappling, I would assume.
I mean, we moved here to Texas, Austin area. Like, we moved around different houses, but it was always like in this area since I was like 4. Started grappling when like right when I turned 6. I think I was like grappling like right before I turned 6. And then, yeah, just seeing it grow over the years is crazy, because when I was grappling, like, people were still walking around with like baggy, like creamy white gis, you know, like, looking like marshmallows. And then like Breakpoint, and then like Moya Brand, Hyperfly, OTM, like all of the, you know, gi companies started coming out. And I was just like, wow, this is nice. These actually fit right. And like, not a lot of people know that, you know, and jiu-jitsu. It's like back then, like, even farther, like past me, like it sucked. You know, it sucked. And now
Jiu-jitsu fashion has come a long way, right? Like it's hip now.
Like, I wear my gi pants into Whole Foods sometimes, and people are like, "Oh, those are sick." And I'm like, "Yeah, they're gi pants."
We're shouting them out.
Thanks. I just know jiu-jitsu, and that's about it.
Yeah, just no jiu-jitsu. That's why I just wear gi pants.
You guys, did you start at, what was it, Team Rabati?
Yeah.
What it was? I remember.
Yeah, so first school we started at was Team Rabati. We trained there for like 8 years.
And that was like up north? Was that north?
Pflugerville.
That was Pflugerville.
Yeah, Pflugerville. And we trained out there for like 8 years. We would cross train at different places. Like, we like cross train at like Gracie Barra for like 2 years, a year and a half. And then we would like cross train at some wrestling places. And then we just finally made the decision just to leave and go join a different gym. Team Rabati was great. We were just looking for something, you know, like a super high level.
And then like Rodrigo, of course, your longtime coach. Now, was he at John's gym before? Did you guys meet him? Where did you guys meet him? Or?
Yeah, so Rodrigo was teaching at John's gym right when he came here from Europe. He was living in Europe, and then he came here and started teaching at John's gym, and then he opened up his own gym, Fight Factory. And he only had that gym for like a year, and then we started training at the gym.
Okay,
so yeah, we didn't know him when he was at John's.
Okay,
gym,
gotcha. Yeah.
And that was crazy, because back then there was only like 4 gyms that were like decent in Austin.
Yeah. And
then it just was like boom, 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 and I was like, I chose the right place, man. I was like, I'm so glad.
Paragon was there too, right down south. Paragon was the early one.
Paragon was there. Brazilian top team was there. Of course,
Gracie Barra was.
Gracie Barra, and then there was John gyms, and that was about it. Like, all the other gyms were just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
And then now those gyms are considered to be the terrible ones, even though back then they were it was like these gyms.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I think maybe a nicer term is like the hobbyist gym versus pro gym, maybe, but you know. Andrew's like, I don't care, man. I'll come in there and smash you guys.
Yeah, call it whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I go into B Team New Wave. Like, that's a good gym. I just beat up everyone else at the other gyms. Like, that gym sucks. No, just kidding.
Dude, I came and trained at your brother's class, your brother William's class, a couple weeks ago, his no-gi class, actually. And whenever I walked in, though, you were running a gi class. And I walk in, and I like come, you know, I'm like checking it out. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, I wonder if Andrew's here, you know. And I look over, you're on a far wall. There's a guy in turtle, a white belt in turtle, a like probably 50-year-old middle-aged white belt in turtle. You're laying on his back, like your back on his back, looking up at the sky with your feet on the wall, going like this, looking around. And you see me and you go, hey, and you wave while you're laying on this dude in turtle. That's what you're doing in the 6 o'clock gi class?
I mean, people at my gym, honestly, they just kind of sit on the wall and just like watch me stunt on people because it's like entertaining to watch. It's like, I have my, in train camp, like I'm like locked in and focused, and I'm like, but out of train camp, I like to have fun. Yeah. I like to like stunt on people, enjoy jiu-jitsu, show the people in the beginners class that you can like have fun doing jiu-jitsu. You don't just have to sit there and shake and you can like flow around and lay on someone. Well,
you can, yeah.
But this is like also how you compete. Like it when I see you go out there against like Nikki Ryan or somebody, I also like you're just like going crazy and doing all this stuff. Right?
Yeah. So in train camp, like I have to lock in, because if I just like went out into like the competition with how I'm like usually train out of train camp, it would be so much worse. I would be so, unorthodox, so like, so chaotic. So it's like in train camp, I use like those 2 to 1.5 months to like calm myself down as much as possible. So when I go out into the tournament, I'm like, that's considered like locked in and calm for me, even though I'm still doing crazy stuff. But yeah, I
remember at trials you because I kind of followed you through that,
Yeah, I remember.
And you kept talking about letting the dog off the chain, and you were like, I can't let him off yet. I can't let the dog off the chain yet. You're trying to keep him on, and then I can't remember, when did you finally let him off? Against maybe Kyle?
No, it was against Dory.
Dory, yeah.
Man, I did not expect that match to be that hard. That was
crazy. That was crazy.
People always ask me like, "What's your toughest match? What was your toughest match at trials?" Honestly, Dory. It was harder than Andy Varela and Taza. Like those were more like, I respected them more, so I like approached them differently. Like Dory, before the match, like I thought I was just gonna like beat him up, and then I was just like, wow, this match, like he was coming after me, and that was like mentally hard, like I was like, dang, okay, I gotta beat this guy.
Sure. Did you fight Dory at like purple belt?
Purple belt, absolute worlds in the semifinals. Yeah.
That was a sick run.
That was, I remember that run. That was like the first time where I was like, dang, I won something.
Yeah.
I was like, that's dope, That was
sure. One. Did you double gold that one? You won your division and the absolute?
Double golded the purple belt Nogi Worlds, yeah.
Nice.
And then I wanted to double gold the brown belt Nogi Worlds, but I like hurt my neck and in like my bracket from like cartwheeling over a dude, and I like head posted, and it like crunched my neck. Yeah. You know that one clip where I like flying triangle the dude, hook his leg, roll, and then I cartwheel over him? It was in that scramble where I hurt my neck. And so I was like, I don't really want to do absolute. It's not worth it. And I was like, okay, I'm good. But I mean, who won that absolute that year? It was Luke Griffith.
Oh, yeah. Or no. That was Banta. Banta. Yep. He ended up losing in the finals.
Yeah, I think if I was feeling good, I think I could have like really done good in the absolute.
That would have been pretty nuts.
You do pretty well against bigger guys.
I do, yeah.
For example, Big Dan on Who's Next, famously. What's it feel like going out there against somebody who's like twice your size?
It's quite scary. I mean, obviously you're just like you're fighting them like this, like looking up. So, but I mean, I think I do good against bigger dudes just because they're looking to slow me down, and that's their goal. And my goal is just to beat them. Rather, if their goal was to be just to beat me, I think they'd do a lot better against me. But they're trying to like compromise their game to affect my game, And maybe if I fight someone, like Gordon, like that's totally different, because he's gonna have like the offset of his jiu-jitsu to counter my scrambliness and then slow me down, rather than like sacrifice to slow me down. So I think that's honestly why I do the best against big dudes. But I'm gonna get a big dude one day that's just gonna beat the crap out of me. Like, for all the other big dudes,
you think so?
Yeah.
Well, till then, right?
Yeah. I honestly don't want to fight big guys anymore.
That's fair.
It just hurts me.
Who are you having the craziest scraps with in the gym?
In the gym?
Oh, we gotta talk about your boy.
Too. I know that's where we're leading.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, if we're talking like closest, like I'd say William. Like it's like we're just.
Does he still give you a little bit of the big brother treatment?
1000%.
Really?
He beats me up, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Big brother effect is real.
It is.
Yeah, he beats me up. Yeah. I mean, I go after him, but he does. We can't really roll all the time. Because if we roll all the time, we're going to be injured all the time. Like, we go at it. It's like, I don't know how the Rotolos roll, but I'm sure they've probably learned over the years to like really flow and chill.
No, they fist fight each other.
No way.
Okay.
Every round is pretty close to a fist fight.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're rolling twice a day every day, because they probably would be injured all the time. Same with William and I. Like we go after each other. Like in situational roles, like we'll chill, and stuff. But as soon as people start looking at us, we just start scrapping. Like we'll train sometimes on like Sundays when there's like nobody there. It'll just be like William, I, and like a couple of the other good guys in the gym, and we'll have more like easy in, hard out rounds, you know, where we're like letting each other work. But typically when we roll, we're like after the roll, I'm like, oh man, my ribs are hurting. You know, like,
would you say like, is he like the person you want to submit the most?
I don't really. I mean, of course, I have a desire to submit William, but it's like it's not too much. I want to submit him. I just want to like get where it's like he can't submit me, and I'm actively beating him. You know, that's more of like I feel like a realistic goal is.
Yeah, so we're not even thinking about.
Yeah, because if I submit William, it's gonna be like I catch him. You know, it's I want to
gotcha.
I want it to be more like I pass you, I hold you, I
kind
take
of
your
impose
back,
your game
and
a
then,
little more,
and then I work to a submission rather than just like. I can't oppose my game on William, so if I am going to submit him, it's going to be like I just caught him. You know, and that don't feel that good. It's just like I caught you.
Yeah. What about Cody Steele? You miss having him in the gym, having scraps with him? I feel like you guys probably had some crazy ones.
Cody and I were actually we always like were chill when we rolled. Cody's actually chill with everyone when he rolls. Like he's really flowy dude. Like I know he doesn't give off that persona when he fights.
He's a chill dude.
Yeah,
he is
definitely.
He's a very like he's so like he talks. He's like yeah, you know? Yeah. So he's super chill. And he trains chill too. So we would always have really good like flowy rounds, but then we'd have our nights where we'd go at it. But yeah, I missed that. That was cool.
What'd you think about his Contender Series performance?
I was so stoked, man.
That was so sick.
I wanted to make it down there so bad, but I had to hold it down at Fight Factory and teach the classes. But I was so happy for him, man. He looked good.
Yeah.
He looked really good. Those body shots were.
That was
he
crazy.
literally just broke the dude.
Binked him.
Like he walked forward with his hands down and was just like bang, 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 and just kept beating on the dude. It's not. I mean, I remember the days when Cody and I would spar and he would just beat the crap out of me, and it's not fun.
We really, I feel like haven't actually seen Cody's jiu-jitsu in MMA yet.
Crazy.
He's just knocking everybody out, throwing heavy hands. But
that's what he said to me. He was like, "Hey, I don't want people to fear my jiu-jitsu and think that they have a way to beat me by striking me." He said, I just want to get super good at striking and make a statement in striking so when people fight me, they're scared of everything.
I feel like
it's working.
Yeah, for real.
And it's also like eventually going to lead him into a path where I think someone is going to try and take him down. And then it's like, all right, well, now Cody's just going to be an elite jiu-jitsu practitioner. And, you know?
Yeah, he's been working his leg locks a lot lately for MMA. Ooh. You know, like how to submit an MMA dude with a heel hook or, you know, a straight ankle or stuff like that. And it's a lot easier because when you punch, you lift. And when you're defending leg locks, you should be grabbing and, you know, moving, grabbing toes and moving versus when you want to go punch, you kind of have to like take your weight off them. And that's when you can get leg locked. So the cool thing about leg locks in MMA, you go for leg lock, they should not be trying to punch you. They should be trying to
like address it.
Address it, exactly. Because by punching you, they're taking weight off their foot. So it's a great defense as well. Going for a leg lock, using that to get out.
There really hasn't been a ton of leg locker, leg lockers we've seen in MMA, right? Like Ryan Hall obviously had some.
Gary Tonin,
Husamir, Gary Tonin, Frank Mir had a couple.
But it would be cool to, you know, Cody finally takes over and just gets some like inside heel hook wins and stuff, cool. You know?
Yeah, it's just really hard for him. I get it because it's like when you're beating up a dude, you just want to keep beating him up. Yeah. It's hard to be like, all right, now leg lock you know?
Yeah,
so I get it, but he's doing good, man. We're proud of him.
Dude, that's so incredible. Like, I love that he's in the UFC now. Yeah, he just looks like such a badass. Like, I feel like he's just going to keep sleeping people, you know? Yeah. Like, he's not even going to have to.
No, yeah.
Like,
even just hearing that.
So good.
Even just hearing, Cody's in the UFC. Like, I'd never really, like, even though I know he got a UFC contract, like, I watched the whole thing, like, just saying, like, Cody's in the UFC. It's kind of the first time I've heard
Cody's going to be a UFC star, man. This guy got world-class jiu-jitsu. People don't, I don't want to blow the lid here, but, this dude went 15 minutes with Mika Galvao. Like, this dude has some of the best jiu-jitsu in the world.
He's been fighting for a long time, you know? It's like, he's been like, he's a Texas OG as well, you know. So it's like he's worked his way up, made a statement, and then he went to.
I remember he was telling me he had some scraps as a kid and stuff like that. He grew up a little scrappy kid.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember. I think he like sent a kid to the hospital really bad one time.
Oh, yeah. Like getting suspended from school.
From
school and type of thing. We got to get Cody on the podcast. And
True, dude.
Fun.
We need to talk to Cody.
Next time he comes through
he has some stories.
You ever get into a fight out in the wild?
Only my little brother. I mean, we
never William. You were like, screw him.
I think William and I fought once, and I think he he like just suplexed me on my head.
Really?
Like on like the hard dirt. And I was just like, okay, I'm done. And I just like laid there. And I was like, okay, I'm done. And he's like, okay. But Caleb and I would get into scraps. Like I remember one time he stabbed me in the head with a screwdriver and I was like bleeding. I remember one time he like pulled a knife on me. He was trying to like cut me.
That's how I would fight Andrew Tackett.
Yeah.
I would fight Andrew Tackett with a screwdriver or a knife as well.
I deserved it all. So.
Okay.
I like when he stabbed me with a screwdriver. I put like a fishnet over him, like a fishnet.
Like,
put
gotcha.
Yeah, and I was like holding him. I was like, ah, and he had a screwdriver. He just goes, ka-choom!
Oh man.
Right in my head. Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Right.
And then the knife one, he was in his room, and I like opened up his door, like sprayed fart spray in his room, and then shut the door, and it was like he was like in there dying, and then so he was just getting pissed, and then finally I like unlocked the door, and he like grabbed his knife, opened the door, just like trying to like slash me, and I was really just like running for my life at that point. But yeah,
this is exactly what I would imagine an Tackett household.
Fart spray must have created so many brotherly fights over the years, to be honest.
100%.
Oh yeah. I mean, we probably got in like
exist for?
Kevin and I probably got in like countless fights. Like,
yeah,
they were like, we're good. Now we're fighting. You know, it was never. It was, we were always like, we were very bipolar towards each other.
Shout out to Caleb Tackett. It must be tough being the youngest Tackett brother.
Wasn't
putting up with these two.
It definitely was
brothers.
not easy. I feel bad for him, man. Yeah.
What's he up to now?
Right now he's working with my dad. So so he wants to pursue jiu-jitsu, but he was kind of in the state where it's like his life was, he was in so many different areas, like teaching kids class, training, you know, trying to do school, trying to, you know, figure out exactly what he wants to do. So he had like a lot to commit to, and he's young. So my dad was like, hey, let's kind of stop everything. He said, you're going to work with me. So he's a mechanic, a body man. My dad, he's like his helper, and he works, he wakes up 7, works, takes a lunch break, works, comes home, trains at night. So it's like teaching him like a schedule. He still gets to train every night, but it's teaching him to, you know, like how much life sucks, you know? So it's making him like,
so you got to go win trials.
Yeah.
Don't have a 9 to 5.
It's just making him like appreciate, you know, jiu-jitsu more. So he like gets focused more, and he knows it. So he's getting a lot better, and it's great.
That's awesome.
Sure. Yeah. Developing some life skills as well, you know.
Yeah.
Hanging with the old heads. And
yeah, my dad's cool, man. My dad's cool.
I believe it.
He's taught me everything I know as far as like cars and stuff.
Yeah, you have some,
which is tough because all you know is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Well, I definitely don't know cars. I'm being completely honest. I barely know anything about it.
You have some big car projects going on though, right?
Yeah.
I kind of follow along in your
car
Instagram.
guys.
You got some.
Yeah, our whole family is.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff you guys working on over there?
I'm working on a '89 Blazer.
Nice.
So it's like I bought it for 10, and like the floor pans were all rusted out. So we're gonna cut all the flooring out, add new flooring, put new cab corners and stuff in it. And then I'm just like remodeling all the interior. So I ordered some like new carpet, some new like trim pieces, and then I like redid the wiring for like the for all the gauges, the dash, the speakers, and all that. And then we're LS swapping it. We're gonna take the frame out, undercoat the whole carriage and all that. We're just restoring the whole thing. So
That's awesome, dude.
It's a fun project.
The whole family gets involved.
Kind of just me and my dad. I mean, mostly me on this one, but my dad helps me with the stuff that I can't do. I'm like, I can't freaking get this part out, Dad. And he'll just walk around and go, beep. And he's like, anything else you need me to help with? And I'm just like, no. Dang it. It took me. But yeah, it's cool. And of course, I'm not a super good welder, so I'll probably do a quick little welding clip for Instagram, and then he'll weld the rest. But yeah.
Little known fact about the Robinson household: my family, my mom was a professional welder. Yeah, not the traditional thing you expect. Yeah, my mom was
you TIG or MIG, man.
I mean, I've only done MIG. She's done TIG, like with the aluminum, right?
Yeah,
So my mom, straight up, her dad was like had a body shop, something, I don't know, and so just from as a little kid, my mom was raised being a welder. She's like an elite welder. She was like had job offers to go like weld planes and stuff. Because she's really good at TIG welding, which is like a hard form of welding. Yeah. So if you need some welding tips, maybe it's in my blood, brother. I might come over there and help you out.
Yeah, TIG's hard because you have 2 different pieces. You have the aluminum like rod, and then you have the welding piece.
Yeah.
MIG is just the rod goes to the welder and it's just with, you know, one hand. So it's a lot easier.
Yeah, but you're kind of like feeding it with TIG.
As you're rolling it, yeah. But it's...
Now, these white-collar boys over here,
they have
especially
no idea.
Reed, they don't got no idea like us. We couple blue-collar boys.
Oh, I'm a country blue-collar boy, too.
Yeah, tell us a cool story, Reed.
Give me a...
come on, man. Come on.
Country blue-collar boys.
Country blue-collar. Get out of here.
Unless you prove it, I don't believe you.
Yeah. Tell us a good story from the country or something, you know, something you were working on with your bare hands.
Tell him about that time the devil came down to Georgia, right?
And I beat him in a fiddle off. Yep. You know,
it's such a great story because, like, in most stories, I feel like the devil would like probably win, and in that one, Charlie, he's just like, no, I actually won. I actually beat him.
I smoked the devil.
Yeah, he did.
Let me get back to you on a good blue collar story. But I'll get you a good country boy story here.
I mean, I have a good blue collar story, man.
Let's hear it.
It was 2 a.m.
This is a blue collar podcast.
Oh, sick! Yeah, it's changed lighting. But anyway, so
most blue collar podcasts start by talking about Chapel Roan.
Yeah, there we go. But my dad, he owned a body shop on our property because we had a bunch of like land, you know, back in the day. So he like owned a body shop, and he would like do like PDR, you know, anything people needed. And it was 2 a.m. He needed to get the car to the person the next day, and he hadn't even started on it. And so it's like 2 a.m. and he just like wakes me up. He's like, Andrew, come down to the shop. I need you to help me work. I'm like, okay. So I was just up working, you know, like not even know what I'm doing. He's like, here's a YouTube video on how to do this. Watch it. He's like, I'm going to be doing something else. And I'm just like taking the belt off, putting a new alternator, AC, connecting the AC lines. And I'm just doing like a front end, you know, rebuild on like the motor. And like, and I'm just like, had no idea what I was doing. I was like 8. That was like my first experience ever. Messed it up. The guy, and then my dad he woke up in the morning. He's like, you did everything wrong. I'm like, well, what'd you expect? Like,
8 years old.
I'm an 8-year-old Andrew Tackett.
Yeah. But I have a lot of stories of me working with my dad like, late at night.
Just like that. Yeah,
I get, okay, you got it.
You're just rebuilding front engines all the time.
Front engines, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Wheelbases, you know?
Okay. Yeah, those types.
Framework.
Those types of things.
Yeah.
Is your dad?
I'm not a car guy.
Your dad's a black belt also?
A brown belt, yeah.
Brown belt?
Yeah, I mean, he's been trained, and he's good enough to be a black belt. He just, like, isn't...
What's up with Rodrigo?
What's that?
Rodrigo, gotta help it out there.
My dad's just never consistent. He's not consistent. Like, he trains, like... And he wants to train. He has so many other priorities. You know, my mom, his work.
Rodrigo got to hook him up.
Yeah. My
grandfather him in.
He's helped out the gym a little bit.
My dad's the type of dude where he doesn't want to be like the old man black belt that sucks.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's like, if I'm going to be a black belt, I'm going to be beating people up. So he's like, I don't want my black belt. You know, so
eventually we'll all be old men.
I mean, he's literally me.
We could only
in like 40 years. So it's like my same personality and like drive and like what's it
ambition?
Joie de vivre.
No, it's like you don't like to lose. Like, what's that called? Competitiveness. So he has the same thing. So he's like, I don't want my black belt. He's like, I just want to be the best. And I'm like, well, Dad.
You ever have scraps with Pops?
I used to, yeah. He doesn't train much anymore, but I used to. He submitted me up until I was like a purple belt.
Wow.
Yeah, he came in the gym right after I won purple belt Nogi Worlds, and he just double arm barred me from guard.
Oh, man.
And then just like, I'm done. Not training for another 6 months. I'll be back in to submit him again. You know, like, he's
honestly
good.
Gangster father move.
Yeah, my dad's a dope dad, man. He's super sick.
Yeah.
He's like my best friend. So.
That's awesome, bro.
The Tackett family.
Yeah,
great family.
We try to be pretty close. You know, I could move anywhere and create life anywhere as long as my family's there. You know, it would suck not to live like near my family. Like, it's depressing.
Do you think you'll be in Austin just kind of forever?
I don't really know. Just wherever jiu-jitsu goes. I like Austin. I like the vibe. The vibe's like the biggest thing that I like about Austin. You know, there's nothing like view-wise that I like it, but I like the vibe. It just depends like wherever the money's at for jiu-jitsu. But yeah, I mean, I don't see myself living in Austin forever just because it's not like my ideal place. But if the money's here in Austin, I'll probably stay here.
What's what's your ideal place? Like, what does that mean to you? And, you know, how would you pick an ideal place? And also, like, what's some of your favorite places you've ever been doing jiu-jitsu?
I'd say my favorite, like, ideal place would probably be somewhere in the country where I'm living, and then I like drive 30 minutes like a big city to where my gym's at. So like probably like
blue collar boys.
Yeah. Probably like let's say like New York, for example. Like I probably wouldn't choose New York, but it's like you have the country outskirts, and then you drive like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Now
Sounds like my life right now. But, okay. I live on the outskirts of Austin, a nice blue collar country town called Buda.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, Buta's definitely, I'd say, a blue collar place.
All right, get over there, get your fist pumped. All right,
Jasmine, my brother's soon to become fiance, her parents. He lives in near Buda, and he works on roads. He like paints the stripes and stuff. So
blue collar, that's a blue collar job for sure.
Blue collar, so that's sure.
Yeah, I'm. It's like you can't quite be a blue collar podcaster, to be honest.
Yeah, I get it. It's pretty
Where
hard.
are we right now?
Yeah.
On a blue collar podcast.
So one thing I want to ask you about, because obviously you just had, a big tournament at CJI, and you had an insane match. I want to ask you specifically about your match with Cade Ruotolo there.
Yeah, dope match.
A lot of people calling it
incredible,
the best jiu-jitsu match ever, potentially. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. What did you think about that match with Cade?
Yeah, if we're talking like exciting, like, yes, for sure, best jiu-jitsu match. But if we're talking like most jiu-jitsu done, probably not. Like we did jiu-jitsu, but I would say like Marcelo Garcia days in like the ADCC, like that was like the most beautiful jiu-jitsu displayed as far as like best jiu-jitsu match. Like we were definitely, I don't think anyone's topped like how exciting that match was. So I'll definitely take that title. Like, I'm not being prideful. We did have an exciting match.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a dope match. I mean, of course, there's a lot of stuff I could change, and there's a lot of stuff he could change too to make sure we did better than what we did in that match. But I'm thankful for it. I look back and I'm like, I could change a lot of things, but honestly, I wouldn't. It's like I did good. I fought my heart out. Like I literally had no hearing after the match. I was so tired. So it's like, yeah, I literally like pushed myself to the max. Like I remember like after the second round, I was sitting there and my hearing was just like. And I couldn't even hear the crowd. It just sounded like the echoey background noises. My brother was like talking in my ear, and it was just like, I was just like, yeah, I totally got it. Yeah, I was just so tired.
Did you have a sense that it was like pretty exciting at that point?
Oh yeah. I knew it was exciting. Yeah, for how tired I was like, there's no way I'm this tired and we haven't been moving. But yeah, I know like if my opponent wants to move, I'm going to move. If they don't want to move, I'm going to move. So it's like, if you want to make an exciting match, I will. And if you don't, I'm going to do my best to still trying to, So I knew Cade was down for it. So I was just like, yeah. I was sitting backstage, like warming up, and I was just like, I was looking at William. I was like, this would be a crazy one. I was like, this is going to be crazy. And he's like, yeah, it is. And I was like, I'm nervous. I was like, I'm nervous.
It was kind of, the match was almost one endless scramble, right?
Yeah, I mean, I literally shot a double leg on him. It was literally the first like 10 seconds. Like we like collar tied, like circled away, and then like I faked collar tie and just shot instantly. Like I just like same with PJ Barch. Remember when PJ and I fought on Who's Number One? Same thing. I like collar tied, circled, like instantly on a shot. And it's like, yeah, my game isn't to instantly shoot, so you can't really prepare for it. Andrew's gonna shoot right away. It's just like the openings were there, so like I went for it. But yeah,
had you fought Cade before? Because you fought Ty at the trials.
I fought Ty at the first trials
back when you were a blue belt.
Yeah, then I fought the Ruotolo brothers 3 times. I fought one of them. I can't remember which one. Back in orange belt no-gi kids pans or gi kids pans.
Oh, okay.
And then we fought again. No, we fought 4 times. Then we fought again at green belt. At IBJJF Kids Pans, my last Kids Pans. That was like a pretty close match. He was kind of like beating me up the whole time, but never could like solidify positions. I think he beat me by like, what? I think it was like 2 points in an advantage. And then we fought at trials, yeah. And then we fought just now. So like I have a little bit of a history fighting them. But yeah, they always beat me.
Are you going into a match with someone like Cade where you mentioned how you're going to move no matter what? If your opponent wants to move, then it's like, all right, it's going to be an insane amount of movement stuff.
Yeah.
But with someone like Cade, also a guy who no matter what is going to move a lot.
Yeah.
Does that excite you? Like you're like, all right, let's go. It's going to be a crazy one. Or is there any sort of like nerves with that where you're like, whew, this one's going to be rough, like physically hard?
It's exciting because I know that the crowd's going to be happy. And that's really why I do it. I just want to make sure that the sport's evolving. And the only way it's going to be evolving is through like people be like, oh man, look at this match, or oh my gosh, like, and then people get into jiu-jitsu because
Yeah,
because he's exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's like you need some jiu-jitsu matches that you can send to your non-jiu-jitsu friends, and they can really get it.
Yeah,
you know?
There's so many people in jiu-jitsu that are feeding, you know, the nerds of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
like the people that want to see a inch battle, which I like inch battles. You know, I like seeing like all the different like things they're doing. I've really enjoyed studying jiu-jitsu these past few months. Like I've actually learned to like to watch jiu-jitsu. I always hated it. I always would like be eating my food and just being like, oh, this freaking sucks. And just put something else on. Yeah. And now I like actually love watching it. And my goal is there's so many people feeding that jiu-jitsu 1-inch battle, you know, type of style. I just want to feed for the people that don't watch jiu-jitsu, you know. So I thought we did great doing that. I was super nervous backstage. Like I knew we were gonna scrap, and I was just like, oh my God, this is like, I was like, I don't know if I can win. I think I can win. I was like, I've done what it takes to win. I was like, but this is gonna be so hard. I was like, I don't see myself submitting him. Like when was the last time Cade was submitted?
By his brother, brown belt in the gi, maybe?
Yeah.
Roberto Jimenez.
On Who's Number One?
Who's Number One.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just like, this kid's hard to submit. You know, even if I do get in a good position, like I got on his back, and I was just like, oh yeah, oh wait, I forget he's hard to submit. Like, like most people, I take their back, I can submit them. But if Cade,
you start looking for a camera, cheer a little, and then
I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I'm on his back. Yeah, I totally blanked out. I was like, I have Cade's back. I need to focus. You know,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think you kind of brought up an interesting point because you did bring up like Marcelo. You know how like that's like the most beautiful jiu-jitsu. Yeah. But you did make a really good point in like anyone can watch you and Cade's match and be like, well, I don't know what the freak's going on, but this shit's crazy. This is fun to watch. But it's like there's so much nuance in like obviously anybody can watch and tell that Marcelo's doing dope stuff, you know, but you need to learn a lot of jiu-jitsu to really pick up like, oh, this is
technical aspects of it. Yeah,
I agree. It's like MMA. It's like there's a lot of sequences and patterns that most people in the world don't know. They're like, get your hands up. You know, it's like throw a right. Yeah. It's like they
can bleed.
They don't know. You know, they just want to see action.
Little battles.
There's so much little battles, but MMA still the little battles are exciting. Like jiu-jitsu, the little battles are not exciting for people that don't know. They're like, why are you playing footsies with him? It's like, because if you don't, he's gonna get your foot and break it. It's like you have to. So I just want to you know, showcase something exciting for the people that don't know the sport, you know.
For sure. Joe, you want to pull up I want to look at the flow rankings with you real quick, Andrew, because you're close to the top. I think you're number 3 now, 170. But then you're also pound for pound what is he, like 13?
Like 14, 13, somewhere in there.
13, 14. And only above you is Mika and Cade at this point. So I kind of just wanted to get your thoughts on...
We're going to get a match with one of them soon for sure.
Yeah. Well, the Mika match is kind of the one that never happened because Who's Number One, Night of Champions? This was like the same time last year.
Yeah,
in
exactly. It was 1 year ago,
You had that insane war with PJ. You win, and then... kind of backstage, it's like it was like a bummer of a scene. You want to kind of talk about that at all?
Yeah, so I had that match with PJ, that war, and I'd been dealing with like a back injury like that whole year, but it never was like too bad. And then like in that training camp with PJ, it got really bad, but then it like Dr. Bob, if you guys don't know who Dr. Bob, his name is Dr. Robert Myers. He works at Spinal Rehab and Institute. Legend, man. He's like...
I used to go to him too, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Bob, shout out. If you guys don't know, he's like literally awesome. I was working with Dr. Bob at the time, and he completely healed my back, like throughout that training camp before it. But there's only so much you can do. Unless you're doing like stem cells or steroids to help heal or peptides, like something else, or just a complete like
the PJ one,
or just a complete like back replacement. So like during that match, it just like if PJ got a body lock and he wrenched me and like went to go take me down, and I just felt something just like snap, crackle, pop, and it was just like, and then I stood up and I had so much adrenaline, it just felt like loosey goosey. And I continued the match after stage. I was staying there, and I was like, all right, we're fighting freaking Mika. And,
here we go, dude. This is the match right here.
Yeah, I was smaller than Dane.
Yeah, you are getting a little big, huh?
I know, yeah.
You want to do a flex down for the cameras or anything? Nice. All right, there he is. Whoa. Yeah, whoa, big man Andrew.
But yeah, it was just somewhere in this match where he wrenched my back, but it was already hurt. My back was already hurt, so that didn't really matter. But it was somewhere in that match. It could have been right there. I mean, we had so many scrambles like that where I just like, you know, And he was like, gosh dang it, this kid.
I know, PJ is straight up like, I am too old for this.
yeah, you saw his face. He was like, gosh dang it, this kid. Actually, shout out to PJ. Him and Hinata's match was beautiful on UFC.
Yeah, that was nuts.
I know PJ. I know
Jiu-jitsu's beautiful.
It is. I know he didn't get the win, but he looked really good, man.
Yeah.
PJ always brings it, win or lose. He's always somebody who's right there with the best guys, and
that's what I'm trying to work on lately. Like not shooting to a body lock, but staying on the legs. It's like if you notice, every time I shot on Cade and PJ, I go to the legs and I go to the hips. Just because I'm such a back taker and I want to get to the back, but that opens up so much wizards. You know, that open.
I feel like the leg is sometimes hard to control in jiu-jitsu without the shoe.
It is, but as long as you can pinch the knees and secure them, and as long as you're in on a good shot, there's really no problem. You should be fine. But like, I mean, I think I'm probably gonna shoot again. I was like, let's wait for me to shoot again, but I'm probably going to in a second.
Sorry, please.
No, you good.
When this night you had to ultimately bow out of the finals with an injury, who made that call? Was it you just kind of saying?
My professor.
Your professor did?
Yeah, he looked at me. I like stood up and then I like had to fall down to my knees. I was like, oh. I was like, I'm good. And he's like, you're not good. I'm pulling. He's like, I'm going instantly. And he's like, you're out. And I was like, no. I was like, I can do it. And he's just like, why would you want to risk it against someone even better than the last guy? Like, you see right there? How my hand went to his hip. But he was like, why would you want to risk it? You're already hurt. It's like, you're probably going to lose because now you're hurt. He's like, and it's just going to look bad on you. He said, rest, come back next time and fight him when you're healthy. And I was like, okay. And then poor PJ was like laying there with a towel over his face. And I walked over. I was like, you got to fight in 10 minutes. And PJ was just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And he just looked defeated.
Yeah, we were like, hey, do you want to fight Mika? And he was like, let me think about it here, bro.
Yeah.
He's like,
no, that was like after this match, because you guys did. It was a crazy scrap. It was nonstop action, you know. It's kind of like we already mentioned.
Look, see right there?
There you go.
I stayed on the feet, and I was able to get like a good, like him to his butt. Like my finish there was terrible, but I was able to get him to his butt. Like I'm starting to work that more, like shooting in, staying on the legs, and finishing the takedowns by shelving the legs rather than going to the hips.
Nice. Evolving that wrestling.
I am. I'm evolving the ability for them to counter me. You know, it's like my problem is not getting on the shot. I can get in on anyone. Like I feel like right now, it's just like the finish of like and keeping them down and not letting them counter. And less counters when you're lower on their legs, you know, and they can't get wizards and cross faces and stuff like that.
For sure. What else are you working on these days?
Leg locks.
Leg locks?
A lot of leg locks, man.
Anything specific in the leg lock game?
The ability to leg lock someone off of them leg locking me. So like I don't think you'll ever actively see me like give up a position to go for a leg lock. But I'm working on, like, if I'm going to fight someone like Levi or Matish Shininsky or someone down the lines that's great at leg locks, and they get me in a position where they're ripping on my foot, take the Cade Rostolo or PJ Barch style and just rip a foot. And if it's there, fall back on it and finish it, but do it to create an opening. And I've just been working on different ways. So I do specific training from, like, positions where I'm in a bad leg lock position, working to get my own finish without escaping.
Nice.
Per se, and that's been great. That's been really good, but also passing.
Yeah.
Evolving my passing.
Anything new with your passing?
I'd say my passing was very just like head forward go, you know, and like I had a lot of systems, but like it was just mostly like athleticism in the systems, and I relied on that a lot, and I'll never not rely on my athleticism until I get, you know, too old to do that. But I'm trying to focus more on like the crossing between systems and the ability to fight those little battles while still moving, just so I can you know, pass someone without them attacking me. Like when I fought with Flanagan, like you saw how many attacks he kept throwing up, and if that was probably like someone like Levi. I'm not saying Levi's better than O'Flanagan or anything like that, but if that was someone like Levi, he might have finished that triangle, or he might have finished the armbar. So or if Mika, like if I was passing Mika's guard and he caught my arm, like he's probably gonna break it. So just the ability to like pass someone head forward without giving up submissions, and I've been learning a lot. Like it's actually like the systems I'm working work. Like,
yeah.
But yeah.
You got any specific technique or anything you'd be down to show us today? We could do a little carpet jiu-jitsu if you want.
I can show you.
You want to? Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's move. Joe, you want to come down and do some carpet jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. We're back. We haven't done carpet jiu-jitsu in a while. We'll move this. This is my favorite segment of this.
Carpet jiu-jitsu, always a good time. Yep. So what are we working on?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Belly back. We're doing passing, so you're down.
Still, see if you can. Still try to talk into the mic as much as you can.
So yeah, we're doing passing. So let's say I go for like a like a leg drag or just something basic that everyone knows. A traditional leg drag, you know, you'd be like right here and you'd be trying to shelf the hips. But the problem with this is like when he throws his leg back into me, like he has my arm there and then my head's not there. So I've been like, when I'm working my leg drags or just any pass in general, like a hip and knee, reverse grip pass, anything, I'm working more getting my head down. So when I'm passing, I'm passing from like right here with my head down all the way, not worried about what my legs are doing, but just make sure my head's there. So if he does like shrimp back in, like my head's blocking everything. Well, let's say my arm's like up here and he goes for like a choi bar where he throws his leg over. Go back. If my head was right there and he throws his leg over, it's blocking everything he's doing, you know? And I think people would use the hand to block, and that would like give up because your arm's not as strong as your head, you know? So now I'm putting my head on that far hip, and now this hand can do it at once. It can grab this foot, it can pummel to the inside. And so here lately when I'm passing, I've just been using a lot more like head pressure into like the hip and the stomach, just so it can like defend off my partner's attacks.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Good little technique.
High level jiu-jitsu right there.
Yep.
You're welcome.
And now you guys know, if you see me with like just bald in the front of my head, it's because I've been rubbing my head into people.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely kind of like what a lot of people do, right? Is block the hip with the elbow or that flare to elbow out or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, you watch wrestlers. I know wrestlers, they don't have guillotines and stuff, but you can manipulate a wrestler's head using like a cross face or using like a chin strap. You know, they're not trying to finish you, but they're trying to get the leverage they need to roll you over. And so wrestlers still have to deal with how someone's cranking your head and make sure your head is as strong as you can make it. So I started taking a wrestler's approach, you know. When you're wrestling, the first line of defense is going to be your arms. Second line is your head. And in most cases, your head should be the first line of your defense. You know, if they get through your head, they're on your arms. If they get through your arms, they're on your hips. So I've just been taking that approach, not worrying about guillotines, not worrying about darts or anacondas, and just learning how to use my head to block everything. And it's been working really well. Like I've been actually really liking it.
It kind of sounds like rumble passing.
Yeah.
Like what those guys are working on a B team with the quote unquote rumble passing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrestling down. It used to be all about wrestling up. Now we're wrestling down.
Yeah.
Is that some of the, like the Jason Nolf stuff? He's working with him, or
yeah. So Jason's out in Austin. We've connected a little bit.
Okay.
We're still trying to like connect as much as we can, like right now, and get on each other's train schedules. But life's really crazy for me right now and for him. So it's like it's just really hard to get involved. Yeah. I mean, not so much like where I'm sprawling my hips and my head, but keeping my like tripod, keeping my feet up and just driving down through my head, to give them that false sense of hope that they might be able to go K-guard, or they might be able to. But if you're sprawling your feet back, they know they can't get to your feet. So now they're going to be purely, you know, trying to just push you away, you know? So I've just been like doing more tripod from positions to make them want to go to my leg. So now they're attacking me and not worrying about me not passing them. So now it's easier to pass them, you know, because they're not just, it's really hard to pass someone if they're only defense. But if they're going for an offense, a lot easier to pass them. So I've just been taking that approach, like giving them a false sense of security by keeping my legs in a tripod position where they're closer, so I can get an easier pass. Because my hamstrings are very flexible, so I can like sit like literally just like this, you know,
folded up,
folded while still being strong and mobile and like balanced, you know. So yeah, I've been taking more of an approach, less like rumble passing, I'd say like they do, and more like just straight up and down tripod passing, but putting my head into you. I've been liking it a lot. Like every pass I do has been doing that now. Not like if I'm passing butterfly, just like head over the top of your butterfly, stick it in your stomach, and then kick over the top of it. Or like if you have double unders on me and you're in butterfly, like arms over, my first thing is get my head over your arm into your hip. And it's been killing a lot of guards lately.
You know what it kind of reminds me? It reminds me of like when you hear somebody's really good at an over-under pass.
Yeah.
Like Murillo or somebody will just be like, yeah, just get to over-under. Well, they're playing lasso guard. Okay, you're going to get to the over-under then. Okay, they're in the spider guard. I have a real good prescription for you right now.
Over-under.
You're going to get to that over-under.
Yeah.
Except he's like down here. We're going to get the over-under.
Got to get you over-under.
Can't even get that.
No, bro, he's
literally
so,
can't even get that deep.
He is such a, he's like pinnacle of men's voice. It's just like,
the deepest, like, yeah.
That's your number one? That's your top tier man voice, Murillo?
I mean, who else is going to beat him?
I don't know.
That deep, yeah, the verb.
Yeah.
He's got an intense voice for sure.
Yeah.
What a badass.
Yeah. There you go. Bato.
Who out there are you kind of got your eyes on for potential matches?
Yeah,
I know. Not to spoil, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but we might be talking with old Andrew about trying to get him on, who's number one soon.
Can we put the rankings up on the board? If
Yeah, I mean, I got some people for sure.
Who you got your eyes on?
Yeah, so I don't even have to look at that. I know who I
Uh-oh.
want to fight. You know, I want to fight, you know, people that are exciting. You know,
Right.
like, so I've been, of course, I'm trying to get on the December card for who's number one, and I really want to make that happen. Just because I feel like, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on that time of year. The Worlds, you know, UFC Fight Pass Potential, who's number one, you know, so there's a couple other things. So there's a lot of things. So jiu-jitsu would be very hyped up in December. So I want to make sure I'm doing something in December, and I want to do the who's number one show. I want to fight someone that's exciting. And who's exciting right now in the bracket? Hanato Kanutu. Who's exciting? Elijah Dorsey. Who's exciting? Joseph Chin. Who's exciting? Lucas Barbosa. So, you know, Mika is exciting. Dante's exciting. You know, there's a couple of people in the 77 that I'm not going to call out, but they're not exciting. You know, they're not. And I don't want to fight them. Even though they are high in the rankings, it's just like, it's just not going to do any good for my career or the sport of jiu-jitsu to fight someone, for me, that's not exciting. Like them, the not exciting guys they can fight someone else that's going to be not exciting. But for me, I don't want to fight them. You know, I want to, you know, and it for sure will get to a point where I have to fight them. But I would rather meet them in like a tournament rather than like a super fight. If I'm going to like train 2 months for someone and my whole goal is going to be for this person, I want to make sure I'm going to get a good payout. And that's going to be an exciting match, you know, per se. So that's kind of where my mindset's at for like the crowd. For like the sport of jiu-jitsu, you know, super fights, I'm sticking to like scrappers. In tournaments, I'll fight whoever. If I meet someone that just wants to stall, then you know, so be it. But you know what I'm saying?
Of course,
that's kind of where I'm at. But
no, I think you're bringing such a great mindset to it because, like you said, you'll meet someone not exciting in a bracket, you know, and because in a bracket, there's room for not exciting matches,
and they'll win them.
Yeah,
those dudes will make it to the finals, so I'll meet them. You know,
for sure. And you know, it's like that happens, and you keep moving on. But like super fight shows, like it's like there's nothing better than when two dudes agree we're gonna have an absolute, just insane match.
I don't even care if the guy's a guard player.
Yeah,
you know, Tommy Blingacker pulled guard on me, and we had a super exciting match until I took his back. You know, it's like he was coming after me. Like there was really no winner up until that point. You know, like he swept and got on top of me with a guillotine. I kind of passed his guard, but not really. You know, so we were like quite even until that point. Like, see where my head is? See how it's under the chin?
Now that you would be all the way down on the hip?
On the hip. I've been working more, getting my head on like the belly button hip, just to block, you know, people bringing their legs up. Because I don't really care what the hands are doing. If I'm being completely honest, if someone grabs me with their hands, I can still move. Even if they grab my feet, I can still move. It's when they hook me with their leg where I can't move. So here lately, I've just been, how can I deal with the legs? I don't even care about the hands, if I'm being completely honest. How can I, you know, control the legs? How can I make the legs not work? And that's putting my head in the hips, you know, and my hands, they're going to be controlling the legs as well. But yeah, like see how he instantly hooked my arm and started inverting through? It's just because my head was too high. And
isn't it crazy that there's just like always something new to learn, always a new evolution, always something in the sport of jiu-jitsu? Like it just honestly never...
It's going to be like that for a while until we learn everything, and then we'll just go through like the meta. Like, oh, we'll be going back to that time where everyone was really good at leg locks. Now we'll be going back to that time. But right now it's still evolving, you know, the sport in different ways. But yeah, I'm going to be passing my head in people's hips until they figure out how to make that pass not work. But as of right now, I'm passing really good guard players, you know, by just that simple. Like it feels a lot better.
I think you brought up Renato Canuto. I do think that would be a sick one. He obviously just had a big performance, looked incredible, very exciting dude.
Yeah, I texted Renato and I was just like, hey, you want to match? And we were just kind of like, let's, like, I don't know about right now. Just he's like, I don't know about right now. I just got done with a fight and stuff. He's like, but yeah, one day we won't fight for sure. And we're buddies. I've known Renato for a long time. We're both
Checkmat kind of guys.
We're both affiliated with Checkmat. You know, I've known him for a little bit, done training camps with him, and so we're friends. But we got to fight eventually. You know, we're both runner-ups. We're both excited, and so we both know it's gonna happen eventually. But I don't know if it's gonna like happen like right now. You know, yeah, Renato's for sure soon. Probably Dante. Dante's probably for sure soon. Probably someone like Levi Jones is probably soon. Mika probably soon. Hopefully one of the Rotolo brothers again. But yeah, there's so many options I could go after, but
100%. And we want to watch all of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
I want to watch Andrew Tackett fight all those.
There's a bunch of people, that people don't even know about in Europe that are freaking coming up the ladders. Like the guy that submitted Victor Hugo. I always forget his name.
Lucas Kennard. He's actually Australian.
Yeah. Oh, he's Australian. Oh, I thought he was from Europe.
No.
Oh, my bad. I'm dumb, guys. I'm sorry. But there's a lot of people that people just don't know about that are so freaking good.
Definitely.
And I'm even down to fight people like that. Like when I was like coming up, I was wanting to fight good people, and they would always turn me down. They're like, "You're an underdog. I have no gain fighting you." But I'm so young. I'm so down to fight with underdogs. I'm like if someone coming up the rankings and they're beating everyone, I'll fight them. I'll be there because I'm always down to put a scrap on. And so I know there's like Brazilian kids that are just like tearing it up in Brazil and winning everything. And if they want to have matches, I'll fight with them too. So
Andrew Tackett down to fight everybody except for big dudes. No more big dudes
and boring dudes.
And boring dudes.
Big and boring.
Yeah, if you're big and boring, freaking kick rocks.
You probably already beat him anyway. So.
Yeah. You talking to Brazil? You recently went to Brazil for the first time, right?
I did.
You went down there to compete in the AIGA Brazil qualifier for Team Kasai.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was super dope. Richard. Rich was the owner, of Kasai, and he was the one directing the whole.
Another legend of the game.
Yeah,
Rich is the man.
Rich, he's tough.
Badass leg locker. I rolled with Rich one time. I was like, all right, let's get it.
Bro, he probably got you.
Yeah, dude, he just like furiously trying to break my legs. I was like, oh shit, I gotta get on this.
He got me too. I was
not bad, right?
I was chilling with him. He got me in a crucifix. Like he like swept my leg, caught me. I was like, whoa, oh dang.
Yeah, Rich is legit.
And I was like, okay, let me try. I couldn't get out. I was literally stuck, and he submitted me like a fair submission. I was like trying to get out. Like I was going like 85 trying to get out, and he got me. And I was just like, wow. I was like, that was impressive. He's like, I know.
Fair enough.
He knows he's good too. He's like, yeah, I roll with good people and they tell me I'm good all the time. I'm like, yeah, you are good. I told him, I was like, you're really good. He's like, yeah, that's what everyone else has told me. I was like, you are good.
What a beast.
Rich is
He's acting like you're telling like Boucher.
Yeah.
Hey, Boucher, you're pretty good. He's like, yeah.
Rich is dope.
He is really good.
How was that though down there with those guys? I mean, you guys had a crazy stacked team.
Yeah, he took care of us, man. He put us in a nice hotel, paid for our escorts everywhere, lunch, everything, breakfast. We were all doing pretty heavy weight cuts. Like I was doing like a 12-pound. Fabricio was doing like something like in the 20s.
Yeah.
Dorian was doing like a huge weight cut as well. Junie was doing it. Like we were all cutting. And so he was like being really cool, giving us our space and stuff like that. And so, yeah, that whole experience was dope. I like Brazil. I just like I like the intensity. I feel like everyone in Brazil is extremely intense, like very high energy, very high and dedicated, very like, what's the word, like go-getters. Like they see you, they're very happy and loud and what's up, So just the energy in Brazil is cool. When I was weight cutting, it was a bit much. So I was just like, I'm tired, guys.
Yeah.
But but the energy, like when I submitted someone, the crowd went wild. It was kind of like when I fought in Mexico in combat jiu-jitsu. Like there wasn't a big crowd, but they made it seem like a big crowd because they were just so hyped up. And I was like, wow. I was like, Americans need to step it up, man. We get boring, It's like sometimes in crowds I'll look over and they'll just be like this. I'm like, come on, guys. I'm like, but it was a cool
pouring
trip.
it all out here, giving you everything.
Yeah, and I was kind of messing, but Brazilian culture for sure, definitely very hyped, very loud, and I love it. And it was just a cool trip. Good food, good acai. Had a great time.
First time to Brazil?
Yeah, first time. Yeah, and we won the qualifiers. Our team won. So we'll be going to the main event when that happens. I know there's like a bunch of qualifiers happening constantly for it. And so when the grand finale happens, I think it's be something pretty dope, you know?
Yeah, the next qualifier is going down in Long Beach, actually. It's the U.S. qualifier.
Wow, that's going to be a hard one.
Yeah, it's like October 18th, 19th, 20th that weekend.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of really good teams. Team Finisher, 10th Planet has a team. Checkmat has a team, you know, so some really cool guys. But
oh, yeah, Finishers has one. Yeah, Renee Souza. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he was just down here visiting, right?
Yeah, I was hanging out with Renee like a week ago.
Nice.
I was doing a seminar tour in New Jersey. I did like 2 seminars out there, and so I slept at Renee's house, and we hung out for like 6 days or 5 days. It was dope.
Nice. Little Who's Next reunion right there, huh?
Renee and I are like-minded, so we get along pretty well.
Any more sunrise hikes do you guys do? Or?
I'm not a morning person. He is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he makes me wake up. Like we'd wake up early and we'd like read our Bible together, and we'd just like watch the sunrise, and then I'd go teach private or train or go teach a seminar, and it was a cool trip.
Nice,
cool,
dude.
Yeah.
Did you compete on Kasai back in the day?
I did.
You did?
I did. Yeah, I was a blue belt, and I fought this black belt, and I think I just...
Was it in New York?
No, that was in
Florida?
Houston.
Gotcha.
That was in Houston. And I submit. That was at the same like brick warehouse that the Who's Number One used to do theirs on.
Bayou Music Center?
Yeah.
Jeremiah Mendez. Jeremiah, is the name of the guy.
On Kasai?
Kasai Pro 7 in 2020, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. And
February of 2020.
Yeah, I beat that dude, and then... yeah, Kasai was cool.
Okay, I was wondering where you linked up with Rich. Yeah.
But we've always known him. Like I've always like Williams competed on Kasai a couple times. Cody's competed on Sai a couple times. So I would always like go there and say hi.
Gotcha.
And stuff.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah. It was.
You want to watch one of your matches from Aiga Brazil here? You can tell us what's going down.
This one made me a little sad. Because as I was about to triangle the dude, the camera switched our coach's or someone's face, and you missed it.
Dang.
I know.
I want to say real quick, Andrew, earlier I feel like you said, I'm not known for shooting in the first 10 seconds. You have shot twice in the first 10 seconds in this match.
Yeah, maybe I am.
You kind of are known for like just immediately trying to bring action.
Well, this is like back to the can't let the dog off the chain thing where after the Dory match, you came over and you're like, I didn't really want to let the dog off the chain, but sometimes it just happens, man. I'm not always in control of the dog.
Yeah, I'm not, man. My team isn't, I mean, they have the leash. I am the dog. Sometimes my team just lets go of the leash.
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh dang it, guys.
That's so dangerous. Now I got to go stunt on everybody.
I'm like, I just got to scrap.
Does William say something? And then you're like, all right, I'm letting the dog.
Yeah, William is a big influence as a coach over me. Rodrigo's a great coach, but William and I have so personal with each other. Yeah. It's like he has that emotional influence over me. Like Hadru will say something, I'm like yes, but William will say something, and it's like he's so personal. Like I feel it, you know. But yeah, Hadru will be like, Andrew, calm down, and William will be like, calm down. Like, all right, I need to calm down. And then they'll be like, let's go. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's the trigger phrase is let's go. That's the Andrew Tackett trigger phrase.
I feel everybody, even Shama, it's let's go in Portuguese. Everyone says let's go.
Yeah.
Across all cultures.
Universal language right there is let's go.
Yeah, there was a meme on Instagram. It was about adults, about men and women. And it was like, how come men and women how come their communication sucks so bad? It's because a man, his first instincts when he gets excited is let's go. A girl's first instincts is like stop.
Yeah.
Stop. No way. So it's like
the rudimentary difference.
Let's go. A girl's like stop.
Dang.
By the way, sick triangle.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh yeah, here is a triangle. Yeah. First time I got a submission, except a rear naked choke.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
First one ever.
I just do so much rear naked chokes. I just never get to showcase other submissions. But no, I got Kyle Chambers with an armbar, and that made me happy. I was like, oh yeah, not a rear naked.
That's another sick one from Trials. Man, Trials, I felt like you just faced like so many tough guys.
I was hoping I was going to have a match with Majid, but Kyle beat Majid. I was like, oh dang.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I didn't really want to have a match with Kyle just because we're friends.
Ooh, got to fix the hair there.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Shama. You are kind of maybe we should, on your quote graphic where it just says, all I know is jiu-jitsu, we'll Photoshop you onto Alex Bajera's face, and then the next quote will say Shama, translated to let's go, Andrew Tackett.
Just real quick, let's see if we could read Andrew's lips here
see if he drops a let's go.
Let's go. No, he definitely did drop a let's go. You can see it definitely.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's just a fun word.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any thoughts on the AIGA rule set?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a different, like 3 rounds, 5 minutes, you know, which obviously
team aspect.
Yeah, I mean,
Cade match was
we were
too.
talking about rule sets. I don't really care what any rule set I compete against. Just like what punishes people for stalling the most, and what encourages action. And then I like the rule set. If it encourages action, I like the rule set. And they encouraged action. It's 3 5-minute rounds. If there's no submission in the round, they just give a favor for who did more in that round, and so that favors my rule set. Because if I have a match of a dude and he's kind of going really slow and trying to hold me, but I'm moving and I'm like attacking him, that round's going to favor me. So that rule set I really liked. Yeah, I was like thinking, I was like, man, how are we going to like evolve jiu-jitsu to like kind of help out both parties, the guard player and the passer? Because I feel like a lot of times the passer will be walking backwards and circling, not doing anything. The guard player's scooting forward, and then they both get stalled. It's like, that's obviously the passer's fault. But then if like the passer's passing and the guard player's just like kind of sitting here, not doing nothing, the guard guy should get stalled. It's like, and I was just like thinking, I was like, man, how can we like really like figure that out to like decisively know who's the one stalling? It's like when you saw Lucas Barbosa, or when you saw Cade Rotolo and Levi Jones fight, everyone was so mad about that match, but I thought it was a great match. I still thought it was a great match, but it's like, I think people didn't like it because it was the match right after Cade and Mai's match. But when you watch that match, they were both actively, like Cade would be moving backwards and Levi was attacking. Cade would be attacking, Levi would be moving back. Like they were, like when one stopped, one was attacking. And I think that's a good display on how you'd avoid, both stalling parties. But then if you watch a match more like Lucas Barbosa and
Joseph Jones.
Levi Jones, when they would get in that position, they would both they'd be like, oh, I don't want to make a move because I know this other guy's going to snatch something, and then Levi eventually snatched something and got on his back. But like the difference of like when one's stalling or both are stalling, or both don't want to do something. And I was just like thinking, I was like, how can we figure out a rule set or like rules to like really make sure not both parties get attacked, but the one that's obviously stalling gets attacked? Because it's sometimes really hard to tell, between, when you're wrestling, it's very easy to see who's the stalling one. Yeah. The one that's walking backwards, the one that's clearing ties and just walking away, like he's stalling. But in jiu-jitsu, when you're passing and playing guard, it's really hard to tell. So I was like thinking, like, what are key factors to know, like to decide, like, they're stalling, but I haven't thought about that yet. But I think that would definitely be like where jiu-jitsu is going, is like to figure out like the ground game, how to keep it from stalling. Because I feel like we figured out how to keep jiu-jitsu wrestlers from stalling, and and it's just like penalize the one that's walking backwards and out of bounds, obviously. But it's like, how are we going to figure out how to ground game?
Yeah, a little more nuanced, right?
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, you don't have to worry about me. I'll never stall. I won't.
All right, good.
We're not worried about
There
you.
we go. The official seal.
I won't stall.
Andrew Tackett will never stall.
If I stall,
I get your Chevy Blazer.
I'm spending a lot of money on that thing.
Just don't stall.
That's true.
If you don't stall, it's not a problem.
All right, it's a deal.
If you start stalling, can't say let's go anymore. Got to drop let's go from your vocabulary altogether.
Because I'm not going. That's true.
You're not going.
Okay, so I'll say.
So that's the Andrew Tackett.
I'll say let's stop. I'll just start saying
let's chill.
Let's
Whoa. Let's slow down.
Let's be.
Yeah, when I win, let's chill.
Calma. No more trauma.
Calma.
All right, well, Andrew.
Hopefully we never see that day.
Yeah, I hope not. But thanks for coming on the show. Where can people find you? Where should they follow you? What do you got coming up for the people?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hopefully December 4th will be a fight on who's number one. After that, gonna kind of like take a step back and figure out which directions I want to go. And so hopefully I'll just be fighting a lot after that. But obviously CGI is probably going to be happening again next year. So that's going to be my main goal. Everything else I'm doing in between honestly really doesn't matter. It's just kind of like little things to either I win or I lose. But CGI is really the one that matters. And then ADCC, of course, is in 2 years. So CGI in ADCC, they won't be clashing this year. So it'll be a very easy decider that I'm doing CGI. But you'll see me on Flow in December. You'll hopefully see me on another, show, you know, again, another super fight show, you know, maybe like 2 months or 3 months right after that. And then AIGA, then maybe another super fight show. And then, you know, probably straight into CGI. So I'll be active next year for sure. I want to do a seminar tour in like February. So, you know, like January, February. And so if you want to have me out, you know, hit me up. And then you can find me on Instagram. So if you want to hit me up, I'd say hit me up on Instagram, Andrew Tackett, or you can just, you know, get my information through there. Or you can find me at Fight Factory. So if you want to come train and talk with me personally, you know, I'm always at Fight Factory, you know, during the class days. So if you're a businessman, you want to like sit down and talk with me personally, just come to Fight Factory and we can like talk there.
Nice, bro. Yeah. Go to Fight Factory. Get down to brass tacks with Andrew Tackett if you're a businessman out there and you want to do a little business.
Yeah, Fight Factory is near the Domain. So in like the Domain area.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed that episode. It was great having Andrew here. We'll see you right here. In the next one.
Shout out to Level Black, man, right here.
There we go.
Yeah, Level Black's a dope company, man. They helped me out a lot. Oh, it popped off. No! Level Black!
See you guys.